Election night is coming, and with it a lot of decisions to make. We'll explain two of the amendments that'll be on the November ballot.
UF Health Shan celebrated a big milestone today in Gainesville. We'll have the details.
And America may run on Dunkin', but a thief made a 200-mile run in a stolen Krispy Kreme truck. We'll tell you who ended up enjoying those donuts inside. Those stories and more. The TV 20 News at 6 starts now. We begin with breaking news this evening. Ocala police are investigating a shooting on Southwest 10th Street in the Green Gables apartments. Officers responded to the scene after multiple calls were made about shots being fired. And a gunshot victim has been taken to a hospital, but not by ambulance. No more information has been given so far, but we'll try to have the latest for you coming up tonight at 11. Turning now to a check on our weather situation around north central Florida. It was another hot day, but is change in the air? We still have hope, Bill, for cooler temperatures.
Yeah, we're hoping for a cooler temperature. It's going to be a while before we actually get to them. I think by the end of the weekend, we could see highs in the upper 70s. Tonight, it's still going to be pretty mild out there. We're just seeing a few showers pop up at this hour. As we zoom into a couple of areas here, you'll notice in Gilchrist County, Dixie County, even Letchworth County and southern Columbia County near Fort White, a couple of these showers. You notice they're not moving very much. They're pretty much stationary, so just south of Bell and just to the east of Waters Lake and south of Fort White and just to the north of Fanning Springs. They're not going to last too long. They'll build up a little bit more. Moving into Alachua County, you'll see the temperatures here are actually still fairly warm. 87 in Newberry, Archer 86 in Gainesville, 88 in Micanopy. Moving a little bit further to the south in Marion County, their temperature still in the low 90s, 93 Silver Springs and Ocala, 91 in Ocklawaha. Headlines look like warm with a few showers for this evening and overnight tonight. Scattered showers and storms for tomorrow and the weekend. Some rain, some sun, and finally some cooler weather. All that coming up in a few minutes. The rights of accused criminals have been long established, but now there's a push in Florida to formalize the rights of victims. Today, TV 20's Alana Osborne spoke with the former state attorney as well as the Marion County Sheriff to take a deeper look at this amendment proposal and other ballot questions you'll see in November.
12 amendments are on this year's ballot, and in just a few weeks, as you cast your votes, you could be making changes to our state's constitution. First on today's review is Amendment 6, which includes multiple parts. It extends a judge's retirement age from 70 to 75, as well as allowing judges to interpret the laws themselves rather than relying on the interpretation of government agencies. But Amendment 6 focuses on crime victims' rights.
We want to make sure that our Constitution says that over time, our statutes and our laws and the implementation of our laws ought to be such that an equal member at the table, if you will, in the criminal justice system ought to be the victim. They didn't want to be there.
Crime victims would be guaranteed rights that include the right to legal standing, protection from the defendant, and notification of all court proceedings.
But they have an absolute constitutional right to be kept apprised and allowed to participate at every level, from the criminal charging to the sentencing itself, and later even through the process of people being released early or things like that.
Some version of the laws in Amendment 6 has been adopted in 35 states. Moving toward Amendment 10.
It ensures the citizens' right to vote.
Amendment 10 guarantees citizens the right to vote for their sheriff. It also mandates that all counties have a Department of Veterans Affairs, a tax collector, property appraiser, and clerk of courts. It also changes the date of legislative sessions on even years. Why does that matter? Well, that's when the budget is set.
By changing it to an even year, it allows us to know before our submission of our budgets, and it allows for a more efficient budgeting, not only on the state level, but on your local levels as well, too.
Wood says these rights are important enough to be in the Constitution, so they don't change depending on who is in office.
So that you don't have the rogue bureaucrats or the rogue individuals going out there and saying, I don't like it, when the people themselves have a right to it.
It's not too late to register to vote by mail for this particularly long ballot. Alana Osborne, TV 20 News.
Alachua County Sheriff's Office has confirmed the death of an inmate this morning at the Alachua County Jail. 36-year-old Elizabeth Talbot was reportedly found dead in the infirmary. A medical examination has been ordered. Talbot was living at Grace Marketplace and was arrested October 6 on trespassing charges. Well, the case of the stolen donuts was no piece of cake, but police were all over it when a van filled with Krispy Kreme donuts was stolen from Lake City. It had been on its way to an S&S food store. Eventually, the van was recovered 200 miles south in Clearwater. The Krispy Kreme manager donated the donuts on board to police there.
They may have enjoyed a few, but they gave away the bulk of them to homeless people at a daily meal service. Police are still searching for the thief. Marion County Sheriff's deputies are looking for a new public enemy tonight. A Flavor Flav look-alike in this video came into the Ocala Express Laundry on East Silver Springs Boulevard. Deputies say that he tried breaking into their vending machine and caused damage to the property. You can contact the Marion County Sheriff's Office if you have information.
A cold case advisory commission meeting took place today, and members say they want more money. The commission was formed by the Florida Sheriff's Association in 2015 to equip deputies with tools and training to solve cold cases. The spokesperson for a resource center for the National Missing and Unidentified Person Systems presented ideas on cold cases, and there was a call for more support.
Having that interaction and knowing that we're here to make a difference, and hopefully, like I said, on the national level, but also on the local level.
The commission meets 4 times a year in Florida. This was the first time in Alachua County. Well, this month marks the 60th anniversary of UF Health Shands in Gainesville. In the 1950s, UF Health Shands Hospital was known as UF Teaching Hospital, and it officially opened its doors October 20th, 1958. The CEO says the main focus of the hospital is to bring care.
We're committed to our patients, we're committed to our community, and that we're different. When you have all of these colleges, all of these bright minds, and all of these capabilities, I think people will come. That's why we grow, and they come because we can produce results like no other.
According to UF Health, in 1959, UF surgeons performed Florida's first open heart surgery. Well, coming up next.
It's the end of an era for one Gainesville police officer who's pretty well known. We'll have his story coming up. He's a cop turned corporate. Gainesville Police's public information officer, Ben Tobias, recently announced after 14 years of service, he's moving on from GPD.
From working as a patrol officer to aviation and communications, Tobias shared his fondest memories with TV20's Alexis Cruz. She joins us live in the studio with the ride along memory lane.
Well, Paige, it was a literal ride along memory lane today as Officer Tobias and I spent the day reflecting on his 14 years in Gainesville. He announced just a few days ago his plans to join Allstate as an external communications senior consultant for their national media team, but we couldn't let him leave just yet.
I've had the same routine every single morning for almost 14 years. To not go through that routine is going to be really, really strange. It's been a long time that I've been doing this job and a long time that I've been the spokesperson for the agency, and so just those little things I think are the ones that I'm going to look back and really miss. And just to see the comments from everyone in the community of the impact that I've made. I'm just a guy that was given news in my mind. I was just a guy that was doing that. I'm just a guy in Gainesville. I'm just a guy that happens to wear a uniform and have this ability and sit in this chair.
As he packs up his belongings.
Yeah, after I moved this crock pot.
How did you become a crock pot?
It was a chili cook-off and I never took it back. Don't judge me.
And looks back on his 14 years here, it's hard to patrol his emotions.
So those instances where I was able to help domestic violence victims, the times where I was able to help somebody that was literally bleeding and dying on the side of the road from a crash, holding their hand, telling them that they're going to be okay. Being in patrol was so wonderful. The teamwork that you have with the men and women that are out there doing the job is unmeasurable.
But not every story that stuck had a happy ending.
The memory that will stick with me forever is the case of the murder case of Christian Aguilar. I've worked around a lot of murders. A lot of people have died while I've been here, but nobody touched me like this kid that I never met.
Protecting both his people and his memories are traits he'll carry with him onto his next step. For Tobias, Gainesville is a place where Gator fans quickly turned into family.
But these are people that for 7 Saturdays out of the year we've come to become great friends.
And even a place where a Bama fan could perfect his Gator chomp. So here's to Ben, the memories he's made, and the community we won't let him forget.
Katie, hey Katie!
Oh, and of course, here's to hoping no matter where he goes, there will always be a Krispy Kreme donut within arm's reach.
Did I get any of my beer?
Yes.
Now, Officer Tobias will still be with the Gainesville Police Department serving as an officer on reserve, so you'll still be able to catch him on the sidelines of some of those Gator games from time to time. For now, reporting live in studio, Alexis Cruz, TV20 News.
Congratulations, Ben.
Yes.
We wish him well.
We wish him the best.
Turning to the weather situation, we're hoping for some cooler temperatures out there.
Bill, I think we're not the only one hoping for cooler temperatures.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's pretty much done with this summer-like weather. We're going to cool it off. It's going to take a few more days, more than that, in a few minutes.